The three basic needs of a woman, of a wife, is to feel seen, to feel heard, and to feel safe. Seen, heard, and safe. When those three needs are getting fulfilled, your woman feels amazing. Absolutely amazing. And by the way, just bonus note, the three needs of a man is to feel respected, appreciated, and validated. Respected, appreciated, and validated. When those three needs are being met on both sides, that's when your marriage feels like it's on fire, like it's unstoppable. So if my wife comes to me and needs to have a tough conversation with me, and there have been times where, she'll say something to me, she's like, I need to talk to you and I'm kind of dreading this conversation. Now, the old me would have been on the defenses. The way I've been operating now for years is what do you got? Right? Because I want to hear it, because whatever she's going to tell me, it's tough for her to tell me, but I know it's important to her. Right? And how I meet her in that conversation will dictate whether or not she holds in what she wants to tell me in the future or becomes resentful with it. Emotional resent. So things, if you don't create an environment of psychological safety where people feel very free to share something that's on their mind and heart. And oh, by the way, they have to do it in a respectful manner. Just because we create an environment of psychological safety, that doesn't mean our wives can emasculate us, disrespect us, treat us like garbage. That's not what I'm saying. You're not a doormat with psychological safety. There's still boundaries. But if my wife has something she wants to share with me, maybe it's how I'm operating, or how, like, so for instance, when I was getting ready for that show that I was telling you about, my diet was really tight. I was kind of cranky. I didn't have patience with the kids. I was kind of disconnected from her. I was distracted. I was exhausted. A lot of the heavy lifting went on her because she was the one who was getting dinners ready. Like, I was training with Mason. That was building up resentment in her. It's like, man, like, doing all this work, and plus he's just not all that pleasant to be around lately. Now, I created an environment where she told me about that, right? And I met her. I was like, wow, that kind of sucks to hear, but you know what? You're absolutely right. I need to do something about that, right? Versus trying to defend it. Now, what happens is, I knew she was right, but what happens is I'm leaving the door open, and I thanked her for the feedback. I'm like, thanks for telling me that. If you see something out of line like that, please come back and tell me. So if she didn't tell me that, or if I have a conversation or she has an experience with me where she knows, like, okay, well, I can't talk to him about that anymore. That door is shut. But what happens is then she gets resentful. Emotional resentment is the cancer that will kill your marriage. It's the silent killer. It's when you go to the doctor and you're like, wow, you're in stage 4 cancer. You had no idea, right? But this is when, and guys will experience this when they roll over in the morning and they kiss their wife on the cheek and she looks at him and says, I just don't want to be married to you anymore. I'm just done. And he's like, wait, what? What are you talking about? Yeah, I'm just done. I've been done for a while. So if you're not creating an environment of psychological safety where these things can be shared with you or you share with them, you're creating an environment where emotional resentment will birth. And that is the metastases that will just absolutely destroy your marriage.